October is just around the corner. Prices are going up. Data balance data just come out, which means points have gone down, which, well, begs the question, has Warhammer 40k become too expensive, and what is the alternative? What's going on, you bunch of heretics, and welcome to Heresy is My Therapy. Yes, it is the price increase, the price announcement of going up between 1 to 4%. The outrage across the community is, as always, oh, they're always after profits, they're looking after their shareholders. Yes, they are, which is just the way of the world. It's a business they have to run, and of course, I know us as the consumers, we're the one who pay the price. But you have to admit, in all fairness to Games Workshop, they do pay their staff rather well. They do give their staff lots of bonuses. We get amazing products at the end of the day. They are a small company in a very, very, very big pond, being obviously a public company under the FTSE either 5 or 100. Of course, we always hate it, but at least Games Workshop do give us plenty of warning with these price increases. They do let us know. They do send emails out to people to say, look, so you know, prices are going to be going up between 1 to 4%. It's in line with inflation across the UK. I can't really fault it. I really can't really fault it. And you know what? Most companies wouldn't do that to many of their customer bases. They generally wouldn't. It would just be part of the inflation, and they would just put their prices up without even telling you. And at least Games Workshop tell you, all right? Every company has to make profit. Every single one of them that are out there, these big main companies, even small businesses, have to make profit, okay? So please don't give Games Workshop the outrage. But what I will say is, of course, it begs the question, as we said at the start of this video, has Warhammer 40k become expensive? We're going to explore different options, I suppose, within the Citadel miniature range, and of course, other miniature ranges outside of Games Workshop and the Citadel miniature range. Now look, like I say, 40k is great, but we seem to be in this really weird space of it just becoming 2,000 points. We've got to be 2,000 points because that's what all the tournament players are doing. Great, I'm not a tournament player. I couldn't care less about 2,000 points. Me, I like a 1,000-point game. And I think we also have a duty to ourselves as the community to start going, look, it is expensive. Why not run 1,000-point tournaments? Why not run 1,500-point tournaments? You don't have to have 2,000 points. Do you know what I mean? You know, how much, we broke it down the other day of how much 2,000 points, a competitive 2,000 point list is going to cost you. And it is well within the hundreds. Outside of being a custodians player and a knight player, where you're probably going to spend £200 to £250. That's before you've even bought any of your paints, etc., etc., etc. Okay, to get your 2,000 point list that may or may not even be competitive. And of course, with a point drop, which we've just had on the balanced data slate for so many armies, which is great. It's good to have points drops, but also in the same breath, that means a lot of your lists are now going, well, now I have to fill it with something. That might mean buying new units. We could potentially see, if this keeps going the way it is, Custodies almost becoming more of a horde army now that their points are decreases, which is absolutely bonkers. Bonkers, isn't it? You know, we could find ourselves in a world where Baneblades are below 400 points. What are we even talking about? Anyway, I go on because we have got to talk about alternatives. So if you're finding that Warhammer 40k is becoming too expensive, you're looking at getting into the hobby, but you don't want to be spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds on a brand new army. You just want to just get into it, have a taster, see what it's all about. Now, of course, starter sets are great. Yes, they absolutely are. Starter sets are brilliant, of course. You've got the Space Marine versus Tyranids in this new 10th edition, and there's so many options. You are getting terrain in there. You're getting, you know, plenty of models, in all fairness, at actually quite a decent price. And of course, if you go to independent, gaming shops, they are always going to do between like 10 and 20% anyway, which is always really, really good. But what if you don't want to play Space Marines? What if you don't want to play Tyranids? What if you like a different kind of army? Codexes, and also, Codex is going to have to be a separate video, I'm going to be honest with you, because that is a whole other ordeal, which the Codex business model is quite disgusting, I'll be honest, but that's by the by. So here in my World Leaders Notebook, courtesy of merch.warhammer.com, I've got a list of things that go, actually, it's not as pricey. It's probably quite a good idea to get into, especially if you're dipping your toe into this hobbying world. Now, for me, top of the list, okay, is something like Boarding Actions. Boarding Actions, it's right there. It's a fantastic book with loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of missions, with rules for every single faction, army lists for every single faction in 40k. You literally pretty much need 2 infantry units, okay, and a character. Granted, again, that's probably going to cost you, anywhere between 60 to 70 quid. Granted, that's a fair bit of money, I know, but in the world of combat patrol, you're going to get yourself an easy 500 points there or thereabouts and play the game. Now, I know in the comment section you are about to say, well, Dan, you need the Boarding Action terrain, which is £120. Well, I tell you, no, sirs and ladies, no, because, guess what? People like battle systems and 3D printed places have got your back, and these are literally a fraction of the price of, say, the Boarding Actions terrain, which again was a nightmare to put together anyway. It's all push fit, plastic card, looks great, works well, all interchangeable. Something like this from battle systems, this is what you're going to want. I'm telling you, I absolutely love this stuff. You get a gaming mat and all sorts. It is perfect, and for cheaper terrain, look no further. But yes, Boarding Actions for me is definitely up there as a cheaper alternative, a great game with endless missions for you and your oppos to do. It's just great. Next on the list, of course, is Spearhead. Spearhead, it is an army in a box, nipped, done. I haven't got to do anything else. Something like, like say, Spearhead that we've got over here. Me, I've got a Cities of Sigmar one, and they've got 2 different variants that you can use. I have heard nothing but fantastic things about Spearhead. We won't get into Combat Patrol because that is, again, no one cares about Combat Patrol, the actual game. They just want the models for 40k. But Spearhead itself, I have heard literally nothing but good things about Spearhead. Again, you're looking under between 70 and 80 quid to get yourself a box, and then that is you. Done. That's your army. That's for your Spearhead. Done. And there's loads of Spearhead tournaments as well. Loads of gaming, and a lot of gaming clubs support Spearhead because the Age of Sigmar community and the Spearhead community absolutely love this game. It's fast, it's punchy, and I've not heard a single bad thing about Spearhead. So that's pretty good news. Next, of course, you've got Kill Team. Again, very, very cheap on the price point entry. You've got a small board. I think it's like a 8 to 10 man teams. And again, the rules are available online. I'm pretty sure they're available to download for free on the Warcom website. Data cards are always getting updated for them. There's literally a box for every single faction. They look great. The models are always usually quite unique in the world of Kill Team. And again, a box of Kill Team stuff is going to be 40 quid from GW. You're looking at 32 from your local gaming store. You always want to support that, which is really, really good news. So yeah, something like Kill Team, it will get you into, like, say, an army that you quite like. You'll be able to be a fast-paced, punchy game with some really cool rules. And of course, what's even better with the starter set for Kill Teams, you can do a PvE type thing, which basically means you can use AI, like an AI-generated system, to play if you're on your own, which I think is actually really, really quite cool. And I know I've spoken about it before. So yes, Kill Team, another great option if you're just starting out. Next, of course, you've got Warcry, again, like Kill Team, but set, in the sort of like fantasy realms. Again, relatively the same, and I think, again, is quite well supported. Although, weirdly enough, I've not really heard many people play Warcry as much, but more like, you've definitely got a lot more Kill Team for 40k and Spearhead for Age of Sigmar. Next up, of course, we cannot forget about Middle Earth Strategy Battle Game, MESBG. Many of you guys know that followers on Instagram. We've seen many of the battle reports that I have with Fabio, Dave, and Will. We've got our own little club, and it's absolutely fantastic. Again, you do not need to spend loads of money on this stuff. There's loads of kits out there. There's also a lot of third-party 3D printing, and some of the models look absolutely incredible and super cheap. But again, a lot of the pricing for this stuff, you can get a battle host for about 40 quid, and that will see you absolutely fine. The great thing about MESBG is that it is you don't have to do loads and loads of points. You can have it really scaled down. And again, it's a really good game. It's probably one of the best and well balanced games, I would say, probably out there, outside of maybe one page rules, which is one we'll talk about later. Again, one page rules is exactly what it says in the tin. But again, MESBG, it's a fantastic game. It's very well balanced. It's exciting. It's thematic. It's a good laugh. There's some really cool rules out there. The only downside to it is obviously like the amount of books that you need for it. Books and rules is costly. I will say that part. But once you do have the book and the rule books, you're pretty much set. And again, you know, things like New Recruit and stuff like that are going to help. And there is a really good, not New Recruit, it is a MESBG list builder that's out there and it's available and it's free. And again, that is absolutely fantastic. I'll put a link to that app built to that army builder in the description below. That is absolutely fantastic if you want to build an MESBG army list. Again, another very relatively cheap entry. Again, the start set's quite cool. You're going to get everything you want in there. But again, if you're not into those two armies, then you're not into those two armies. Right, next, of course, Blood Bowl. Season 3 of Blood Bowl is on its way soon. That Bretonnian versus Tomb Kings, which is super cool. Very excited to see that coming. I cannot wait to see that game. And that one has definitely tipped me with this to start Blood Bowl. Again, I imagine that price point is probably going to be between 1 to 120. Fine, is what it is. We're going to get 2 teams, mats, dice. You're going to get absolutely everything you want. I think for a lot of things, in all fairness, for getting into the hobby, start sets are the way forward, but they're always going to be up between that £60 and £100 price point. It is what it is, and I think that's just across the board anyways. And we will talk about Operation Sandtrap anyway with Infinity shortly. That's really kind of like, I mean, like I said, no one cares about Combat Patrol. People only get the Combat Patrols because they want it for their armies to start their 40k army and their 40k journey. I don't actually think I know anyone that plays Combat Patrol as a game anyway. People just want the models. But that is the kind of games I would say the best. I know there's loads there. You know, at the end of the day, things like Horus Heresy, things like the Old World, they're expensive. They are, as I've said, I would say they are the war gaming, the actual like historical war games, if you will, of Games Workshop. Horus Heresy is expensive. You're looking where you need 3,000 points to play the game. There's a lot of rules, lots of armies, lots of different bits and pieces, lots of stuff that you can buy, but it comes at a price point. We're talking about entry level stuff where you've seen the price are going up, you want to start something new, you want to get into the hobby. These are some of the things that these are just some of the options that you might have. But of course, there are gaming systems outside of Warhammer 40k, outside of Citadel Miniature Range. And a couple that I want to talk about, one for me, who I absolutely love, who I've been beating the drum for a very long time, is of course Corvus Belli Infinity. I was very lucky to get given this set from Infinity. But again, you're going to get in here, you're going to get a battle map, you're going to get terrain, you're going to get rules, a quick start rules. You're also going to get 6 really cool miniatures. Again, you know, the 2 armies look really quite decent. A lot of the armies look the same but don't, if that makes sense. You know, they've got their own aesthetic, but again, you don't need to be spending hundreds of pounds. You know, you can play a game with 3 models each, and that's you good to go for the game. It's very much like a small skirmish game. You don't need thousands of points. And again, all of their rules, all of their army list building, it's all free. You don't need to buy that. You can if you want, but you don't need to buy the books at all. It's all free and readily available. The models are really cool. Granted, them a lot of them are metal, going into some that are resin. But again, the models look incredible. The game is very quick, very fast. There's always something going on, and it does get you thinking. It's just really quite cool. Then of course you've got the bigger sets like Operation Sandtrap, where you're literally you're basically getting full armies, like full good to go armies, good to go. There's loads of terrain, again, battle maps, game terrain, the full works. It's a really good set. But again, you look at the 120 price point. But what I will say with that is that's 2 armies that you're going to get in there. That's 2 full good to go armies, skirmish, guerrilla fighting teams. which I think is really, really good. Then, of course, you're going into the other realms of things like Conflict 47, Bolt Action, and of course D&D. Again, these are other game systems that aren't as expensive. Things like, Bolt Action from Warlord Games. Again, you can buy a lot of miniatures for very cheap. That's just reality. You can. It's a lot cheaper. Sure, the models aren't as good quality. Granted, fine, it is what it is. But you're still getting to play war gaming, which is what this is all about. And of course, the new game Conflict. Well, is it new? Yeah, I think the new edition of Conflict 47. Again, if you get the starter set, I think it's about 70 quid. You're going to get 2 armies in there, rule books, terrains, the full works, and of course they've got starter sets for each of those armies as well. At the end of the day, this hobby is not cheap. You're always getting paints, paintbrushes, glues. It's not a cheap hobby, granted. But in this world where we seem to be chasing this meta of 40k, 2,000 points to player at a tournament, which most of us probably aren't even interested in, we've got to start bringing home being able to play 1,000-point games. Sure, you're not going to get all your toys, but hey, you know what? Not all of us are made of money that we want to spend loads and loads of money on. It is a hobby that we enjoy. Yes, sure, it's never great seeing a price rise, but of course that's just the way of the world. That's just inflation. That's just how things work. But really, if you're going to start dipping your toe, what I'd probably recommend if you're going to dip your toe into this sort of world, in the 40k world, start off with something like Kill Team and Boarding Actions. At the end of the day, with Boarding Actions, you're going to have 4 armies for the price of 1. Going on that 2,000 point notion. And then if you're not really interested in that and you fancy something a little bit different, I cannot recommend Infinity enough. It's just a really, really cool gaming system with some really cool models. But yeah. And of course, get involved in Lord of the Rings Middle-earth strategy battle game. It is just brilliant. You can reenact some of your favourite scenes in the films and in the books. It's just great. It really, really is. But yeah, let me know what you think. If there's other sort of like gaming systems that you might be aware of, please let me know in the comment sections down below. If there's other miniature ranges that you want to kind of give a shout out to, again, give them the shout out down below in the comment section. But really, 40k, is it becoming too expensive? I think at this 2,000 point meta chasing narrative, yes, it is getting ridiculous. You're always trying to find, I'm adding a chaos knight into my World Eaters army just so I can find 400 points, as something like nice and big. But even then, it's a bit of a wild one. But yes, there's loads to choose from, loads in there. Also, before we go, just want to say a huge thank you to Merch, the official merchandise store, the merch.warhammer.com, for sending me out this really, really cool gift set. It's got a pair of socks, it's got a really cool coin, and it comes in this absolutely awesome box, if of course I can open it. There we are, look, all done. Look at that. If you want to get yourself your hands on some of this sort of stuff and some more amazing merch from these guys, all of course officially licensed, I might add, then obviously click in the affiliate link below and get yourself involved in that as well. Anyway guys, I'd love to know your thoughts on today. That's me signing off for now. I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.